podcast is ready. We're here today, week 5.
We're like a
Camp Social
traveling
Distance.
circus show at this point, except we can't go anywhere.
Yeah, well, the circus is correct.
The circus is here.
100% true. What is up, everybody? Happy Monday. Here we are, week 5 of Camp Social Distance.
Yeah.
We're still alive.
I even dressed for the occasion.
Yeah, I haven't got my shirt yet. My shirt hasn't come in yet, but that's
Am I the only one that got one?
Malika's wearing hers today, too.
Oh, poor baby. Pobrecito.
Okay, well, you know, whatever.
Don't be that bitter about it. It'll be okay.
I am bitter about it.
It's fine. We'll just get to make fun of you for the rest of the day. It's all good.
Not getting new shirts in the mail means I have to do laundry.
Yeah, well, you know, don't we all?
New shirts equals less laundry for now, more laundry
just means
later.
a bigger pile for later.
Whatever, it's fine.
It's fine.
Well, right off the bat, I want to introduce a very special guest that we have joining us today, the one and only Felicia Day. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us on HyperCast today, and it looks like you're streaming from outside. How dare you?
Okay. Well, if you hear banging in the background, that's my office. My studio is under construction.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
So if you hear like a bang, 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 that's not me. That is. And also, it is really messy behind me. There's a lot of Amazon boxes just stacked everywhere. So.
Well, I mean, no, the background looks gorgeous. Picturing.
It really is. And, like my hair is just, it's blowing in the breeze. It's blowing.
Right. All the digital artifacts are wind.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Digital artifacts
this is
are
wind. It's just wind. I read this thing this morning that said Yosemite is being taken over by bears and cougars.
Wow.
So you better be careful out there.
Yeah, or I'm just one of the cougars. I don't know.
I wasn't going to say it, so I'm glad you did.
You know what? I'll give you a little Felicia Day trivia. I helped make that phrase popular in culture because I was in a T-Mobile commercial where I was like, look at that cougar over there. And that commercial played so much, it made cougar kind of a mainstream term.
Oh
okay?
My God.
It didn't originate the term, but it did make it pop culture.
I find the
relevant.
great irony of that is that commercial's so old, I can't remember it.
Yeah. Yep.
It's been a part of the culture for so long now.
Yep.
That you've had time to catch up to it and become a cougar.
I mean, I guess I'm not quite cougary. Let's just say I'm not quite cougary.
Not there yet? Not there yet?
Give me 5 years. I'll cougar it out.
I'm ready. I'm ready to cougar it there. I'm ready to get there.
You're a cougar? You think you're a cougar?
I will be one day. Eventually.
One day. See, that's what I'm saying. I think I think cougars like over 50. So I got a ton of time.
How does one know? Do you think if you ask someone over 50, they're just going to admit?
The fuck are you looking at me for? Like I know the answer to this question.
I don't know. Ask your mom. I don't know. Like what is there like a
I'm not going to ask my mother that question.
What is going on here?
My God.
Okay, let's just see what age a cougar. Let's look it up.
Okay, I forget that we have Google at our disposal. Welcome,
let's look
while
this
you're
up.
looking it up, welcome, Felicia, to an episode of HyperCast here. Everybody, welcome.
Welcome. How you doing, Zach?
I'm good. Good. What,
I feel like I didn't really see you this weekend.
It's because I was down here working in the studio all weekend, and we both have significant others that we spend our time with when we're not working. We try. Right. And you had like what, a 5-hour long Zoom call with your family this weekend?
I did, yeah. I hung out. My Easter was spent hanging out with my family, drinking a whole bottle of wine to myself.
That's amazing.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. It was nice to see them. It was weird. In the moment, I'm sitting there and I'm talking to them and I'm realizing, man, I really miss my family.
Yeah. I can't tell you how much it meant to Malika to look over your shoulder and see your whole family watching her cooking videos.
Oh, my mom's like, oh, it's at 2? I'm tuning in. And I'm like, great. Perfect.
Like, Malika's going to hold on to that for so long. Like, that was such a big ego boost for her. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, thank you for that.
I mean, it's funny because my family, now that everybody's at home, they're all like, oh, so what? They've watched our streams before, but they haven't seen our like newly adjusted schedule for everything that we've been doing. So I was kind of like walking them through it and stuff like, oh, that's actually really, really fun. And like, oh, but the cooking thing, we want to know about the cooking thing. I'm like, all right.
So speaking of cooking, you said you have a big cooking project you're working on today.
Well, that's kind of how I'm burning some hours. And I also have to support my child. I have to feed. I mean, I'm trying not to eat out a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. She really needs to eat. She's 3. So nothing I cook she'll eat, but I'm like, screw it. I want to learn how to cook beef bourguignon. So basically, I'm obsessed with my Instant Pot.
Right.
And I'm just cooking. Although last night I made lasagna in the oven.
Oh, okay.
No, not in the Instant Pot. So I did the baked lasagna, which turned out pretty good, except I kind of almost burnt it because I was doing like a voiceover audition at the time, and then I forgot about it. So, there was a layer there that kind of had to be disposed of. But
that's the great thing about lasagna. Yeah, you just take off the top.
You just take a layer
That's
off,
right.
right?
That's right.
So today I'm making, today my project is baby back ribs. So,
okay.
Baby back ribs is what I'm trying to do in my Instant Pot. A lot of your viewers love the Instant Pot, so they know it. My best tip about an Instant Pot is you can take a whole frozen chicken, completely frozen, put it in the Instant Pot, 50 minutes on high pressure, you got a perfect chicken.
It's pretty great.
You don't have to thaw or anything. So I'm experimenting with baby back ribs.
You're experimenting with how little work you can do and still have edible food. Exactly.
Listen, it's a lot of prep. The beef bourguignon I did last week took about 2.5 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like but it was. I think the lasagna really gives an example of how I burn things if I have to tend to them, because I have a little ADD in the kitchen, I guess, or I'm just not paying attention. So what I personally love is to be able to just put in a pot and I know it's not going to get burnt.
Yeah.
Well, outside of burning your food, what else have you been up to in the midst of this lockdown?
Well, I've been streaming a lot more. I've been cleaning my house. My house is super clean, although immediately it gets dirty. Like I cleaned so deep on Sunday. Saturday, I even cleaned toilet. I cleaned toilets. I mopped, which is like a lot of work, y'all. And then literally my baby she was eating a cookie and I was just mopping behind her because she was just dropping crumbs the whole time. So I've been, and I have been streaming like a lot more. I've been doing a lot of interviews like this because, trying to support people or just like get out of the house. I've been doing some private streams. I've been playing like Ticket to Ride with my friends.
Oh, cool.
I've been doing a lot of Stardew Valley. My friend Amy Okuda from the Guild and I have been, we played last night for several hours and we just fish. We do a lot of fishing in that group, in that game. So I've been playing with my mods a lot. In Stardew, I'm just kind of I think that's the perfect game for confinement because it feels like you're going outside.
So do you feel like Stardew is better than Animal Crossing? Okay, listen, I don't have a lot. I don't have Animal Crossing right now. I do have a Switch. I love it, but I don't really use it that much because I can't stream from it. I just got an Elgato card though, and so I'm gonna hook it up. But I can't imagine Stardew is better or Animal Crossing's better than Stardew. Okay, you know what I'm saying? I have no opinion in this fight. Wait, what? You haven't played either? Neither. I've played neither. Oh. So I have no idea. I'm not really big on like things like Sims. I know Malika loves it. She goes to sleep every night playing Animal Crossing right now. And she says it's a great way to like calm herself, but also feel like she has some control over the world around her by being able to place things a certain way and do things a certain way. It kind of like an organization, just like organizing my goods in Stardew makes me happy. Yeah. It sounds like it would make me anxious. Like I would just get kind of...
You want to do virtual work on top of your already regular work schedule?
You're poor. You're poor in the game. This is what I don't like about it. So I played Stardew like the second day it came out. And then I was like, I don't want to work and be poor in a game. Like this is my struggle in real life, making money. Like I don't want to do this in a game. So then I installed like I hacked it and I got like 99 million gold. But when I started the game again, my group, my fans in the chat were like, they shamed me out of it. They were like, you can't do that. So I started a brand new game and I'm struggling. I got like 5K. Yeah. It's not enough. Yeah. What a shame that they won't even let you pretend to have that kind of privilege in life to just be like, I know.
My God.
It's like winning the lottery. You want to pretend that you won the lottery.
Oh my God. That would just stress me out just way too much. Way too much. That's why I can't participate in those things either. Yeah. No, I'm good.
So do you find like playing games like that as a good stress relief in the middle of all this? Like, I guess that's the next question is like, just how are you doing? How are you feeling being locked in and how are you coping?
I mean, personally, I kind of am built for quarantine. I kind of I have to say my pattern of behavior has not changed that much, except the things I hated doing, like going to Hollywood meetings, that has dried up. So like the thing that I hated most was like doing that stuff. So the fact I don't have to do that stuff and I'm just in my house and like I'm working on writing, like I have a big writing project I'm rewriting right now. And I have and I'm spending more time with my baby, more time than I ever have since she was born. And like I feel like that has been beneficial for our relationship. I'm just basically like getting rid of stuff that I don't enjoy has been eye-opening for me. And I don't know, I do miss traveling. I do a lot of conventions and speaking engagements and stuff. And I miss that part of it just because I like seeing the world and I like talking with people. I love connecting with them, but my Discord and my Twitch stream has like taken over that. And so I don't know, I guess I grew up homeschooled, so I was already locked in a house my whole childhood. So this kind of feels comforting to me.
Yeah. But at least this time you're not locked in with your brother, so.
That's true. Although I do miss my brother. I actually been FaceTiming him more now than before.
Right.
And I've been trying to get him to stream with me, but he keeps going on like 45-mile bike rides and is too tired, quote unquote.
I feel like everyone's probably in this boat right now where they're talking more to their like I'm talking more to my mom right now than I have since I lived at home.
Yeah.
Which is like we talk about once a week. So that's like the most I've ever talked to.
My family and I are very active on text messaging.
You guys are, for sure.
Very active.
Yeah.
I get texts from my mom almost on a regular basis, like almost every single day, regardless of what's been going on. But now we see each other a lot more because we're doing the Zoom calls at least once a week. So it's kind of nice.
You know what I feel like? I started my whole career like showing people with the guild and just with everything I did with Geek and Sundry community building and stuff, that the online world was an awesome place to make you connect and make you form friendships and support that you might not have in real life. And it was a good and then, so that was the whole premise of my career in the beginning. And around 2014, 15, it turned a little dark and the internet, the bad part of the internet kind of took over the reputation and it kind of ruined, it was a real knockback. And for 4 or 5 years, we went to the opposite end, like with the election and all this, So now I feel like this experience has showed people that online connections can be fulfilling. They're not a substitute for real life, but they can supplement and actually encourage you to, give you support when you need it. And so actually, I think it's an awesome turn of events where people can be maybe more positive about, and also platforms will enable a lot more connection between people who are friends in real life and family.
I'm curious when you say that, like, what are some examples you think might change in that regard? We already have things like Twitch, which we're using now, and Zoom has just exploded. But what are maybe some other things that you're thinking maybe will change a little bit for the better?
I think that, Twitch is great. And, but if you're a civil, it took me a couple of days to actually get my head. I've been streaming on Twitch for 5 years. Like I know, and I use XSplit, and I know all these programs I need to use to coming into this being like, how do I stream a video game? It's so hard. You have to have this, you have to have all these other programs to help you, and you have to have a tech savviness that most people don't have, and they don't want to have to work at it, right? That's why Instagram Live is just you click a button and you're live. So I'm hoping that, Twitch and YouTube and everything will just make it easier for people to just who don't know, I know a lot of my fans are not video game people. And when I tell them, hey, come over to my Twitch, they don't know what's going on.
Right.
I tell them to come to my Discord and they don't know what's going on. So,
right. It's true.
Discord and Twitch to me have been like a cores of my online world now that after I left my company. And so having those pockets of community is great, but I'd love to have it just be easier and more intuitive for people to connect and create community a little bit more. So I'm hoping they're all working on just more user-friendly interfaces, right?
For sure.
Yeah, I know Instagram announced today that they're doing like a redesign of their Instagram TV app to make it a lot easier for people to understand how it works, and so to encourage more people to use it.
Yeah, I don't either.
Weird. Yeah. So I think I imagine that there will be more companies like that will start to implement easier methods for people to just be able to do whatever they want. If it's just going live, like literally open it, push a button, and you're live.
Yeah.
Because I think we had so many issues with YouTube Live when they redesigned
so
it.
Many.
It was
awful.
The worst possible thing ever.
Still well, here's the irony. In 2012, I was one of the first users of Google Hangouts, which literally was you click, you're in a room, and you broadcast. Yep. It was so easy, right? And I did a show, a book club, and then I had a whole slate of content on Geek and Sundry that I did, and then they were like, we don't want to support that. I'm like, I'm supporting your platform. Why would you not want me to do that? So I had to cancel all the shows because they didn't believe in live content. And
it's so interesting.
Yeah, so it's so ironic that, I guess being ahead of the curve. Somebody in the chat said that all my fans are boomers, and that is not true. I am not a boomer.
Oh, I just assumed you were because I am. Everyone tells me I am.
I'm Gen X still. Like you're still that's a different.
Am I though?
Boomers are old.
I don't know.
Yes.
Kolak has an audience of viewers that are all like 14 to 18, and anytime
are they 14?
Anytime I speak, they tell me like, "Okay, boomer," and I've just it used to upset me, but I've just come to terms with it.
You're a Twitch boomer. Okay, I'm a Twitch boomer. Okay, I'll take it. All right, so it's just a different platform boomer. So anyway,
look,
whatever I was talking about.
We're old as shit now for the platform that we're on.
I don't feel like I don't want to be old, but I am, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. Like when I started doing all this stuff, this 2015. So I was like 27, 28.
I'm technically we're all technically millennials.
Yeah.
But we're boomer millennial.
That's right. That's right.
For the platform that we're on.
For the platform that we're on,
for the most part, our audience skews way older than the typical Twitch audience. But it's every time that we do an episode of Kolak or one of these shows that has a younger audience that I realize I don't know I am so out of my element. I get tagged in a lot of TikToks and I just stare at them like I'm looking into a void.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't understand.
Well, it's funny because
I'm out of touch. I'm out of touch. I'm so out of touch.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm like I try my best to keep up, but I'm like, I'm 33. I don't know what I'm gonna do on TikTok. I don't dance around. So the fuck am I gonna do on this platform?
I watched it for an hour and a half in bed the other day because I was on location acting, and so I had an hour and a half that I could lay in bed. And I was so obsessed with just eyeshadow, but I'm like, there's nothing here for me creatively. I don't know what I would do.
I watch cooking stuff on TikTok. I watch stuff that's like totally not what the platform was built on.
I've seen some really cool stuff. It's the same thing with Twitch. You can find stuff that matches what you want out of it, but the chances
it's not the mainstream.
Exactly. Those things won't become mainstream, and that's fine. Yeah. You know, it is what it is.
I know. Is there any new movie? Well, actually, no, because you said you haven't had a chance to watch anything.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, I don't have, because the baby has been going to bed so late.
Yeah.
So that basically at 9 or 9:15, she goes to bed, and I'm just stumbling around the house cleaning, and then I'll either stream or I'll read a book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So after this week, I'm going to get back on the TV bandwagon. So, but I want to watch something stupid like just Seinfeld reruns or something.
To me, that's the best. Like just going back and like finding that comfort food.
Yeah.
To get through all this, because I like kind of rock back and forth on that fine line of like stuff that I can relate to right now because it's severely upsetting, or things that I'm just like turn off my brain. I want to feel nothing and just try to remember what it felt like to be okay.
What is that? Love is Blind? I tried to watch that. That was the last thing I watched, and I think I just rage quit the TV because that was existing.
I can do that. Comfort stuff for me is movies more than shows. I try to watch something new. Like I just watched McMillions.
Yeah, you just watched McMillions over the weekend.
Loved it.
What was that?
It's about the Monopoly scandal that took place at McDonald's.
I heard about that. Yeah, was it good?
It's really good. The ending is like to a certain point you get really frustrated by the ending. Yeah. But it's not so much. It's not so much that it's like it has nothing to do with the storytelling, but it's just how the events unravel that you're like, oh, god damn it, you get so mad. But that was really good.
I think documentaries have really been knocking it out of the park lately, but that could just be because we're in this position where we're wanting to like have those kinds of stories, so they're performing really well.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny to see Tiger King blow up like it did because we watched it as a community. But I was glad we had an understanding the whole way through. Like, this is awful. I will never rewatch this because every single person on it is just a terrible human being. And you know, but it is fascinating. It's fascinating to see these things where the truth is stranger than fiction.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it yet, and I know that they just dropped, I think, that extra episode.
Right, which is just interviews, I think, with people from the show, and I don't know if I'm going to watch it. I need a break from that, you know. Yeah. But we've been watching so many good movies. One thing
my God.
We've been
I'll
doing.
Be right back.
You got it. One thing that we've been doing is our watch-alongs. So for those that are unaware, every day we have the audience vote for what movie we watch next week.
Yep.
And this week we are watching a bunch of really awesome movies that the chat picked last week.
Yep.
So let me pull that down there. Our schedule, we have Fallen Angels tonight.
Yeah, baby.
Which is Wong Kar-wai, and I realized I have seen this one.
Oh, you have?
I have seen it.
Okay.
All I needed was I was looking for the logo to put on the screen, and I saw a couple screenshots. I was like, no, I've seen this one. It's Happy Together is the one that I haven't seen.
Oh, I see.
Dogtooth tomorrow night.
That's going to be a trip.
The Lure on Wednesday night, which is apparently just mermaids, naked mermaids eating people. It'll be interesting.
That's Malika's pick.
Lucas picked Belle de Jour on Thursday.
Ooh,
and then Diamantino on Friday, which is absurdist. Like
It's a soccer movie that has puppies in it.
Portuguese movie where they clone a soccer player, and
it looks freaking crazy.
Yeah,
bananas.
Absolutely bananas. But today's picks that you can vote on, we've got some really great options here. We've got Burning, Parasite, and Mother, which are all 3 South Korean films, 2 of which from
Bong Joon-ho.
Yeah. Mother and Parasite. But if you guys don't mind, let's watch the trailers for these, just to give the audience a really good idea.
Okay.
And Felicia, feel free to jump in with your thoughts on these after the trailers, or
I will.
If you've seen or have not seen any of these. Okay, I think
Burning 2018. I hope, right?
Yes, it just came out. It's on Netflix.
Gotcha.
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
So let's see if this works. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. We wired it up differently this time. We'll see if it works, because we wanted Felicia to be able to see it.
Thank you.
모르겠어? 우리 어릴 때 같은 동네 살았잖아. 내 부탁 하나만 들어줄래?
벤이라고 합니다.
어떻게 하면 젊은 나이에 저렇게 살 수 있지?
젊은 나이라도 돈이 많나 보지.
위대한 개츠비네.
재밌네. 여유만 있으면 나 뭐든지 해. 희열을 느끼는 거죠. 여기서 베이스가 느껴져요. 뼛속까지 울리는 베이스.
저 사람이 너 왜 만나는 것 같아?
난 가끔 비닐하우스를 태워요. 들판에 버려진 낡은 비닐하우스 하나를 골라 태우는 거예요. 마치 처음부터 존재하지 않았던 것처럼 사라지게 할 수 있어요. 거기에 옳고 그런 건 없어요. 자연의 도덕만 있지.
Yo, that looks intense.
This movie seems stressful.
Oh.
I don't understand. I mean, what was he, an arsonist? What's going on?
I don't know. From the same director that did Poetry, which has like that movie really fucked me up.
Really?
Great director. That looks really tense. The soundtrack underneath that was getting like so good.
Yeah.
But it goes right in line with what I expect from South Korean films, which is like a constant question of morality, of like what's right and what's wrong.
That's like outside of trying to figure out like, okay, what exactly is this movie about and what exactly is this character doing? It definitely feels like it's like, okay, we're gonna question the actions and the morality of all of these characters, which ooh man, very intense.
Have you spent too much time watching South Korean films, Felicia?
Not. I feel like I wish I was a little bit better versed. I've seen Parasite, and it was definitely my favorite film of last year. But I'm not. But I don't. Again, I used to watch movies all the time.
Right.
I reproduced, and it ruined everything. So not everything, but it ruined my media consumption and ruined to the nth degree. So
right.
I personally love Hong Kong films. So I would watch any Hong Kong film there was, any martial art film. Like I'm just obsessed with all of them. So that I'm very well versed in that genre, but the more thinking genre, and I'm certainly not a horror fan.
Gotcha.
So that's another one where I'm like, oh, definitely not not well versed. So that one seemed like a real Debbie Downer, and I would not sign up for that one.
It seems like 100% the kind of movie I would love. like, oh man, that looks great. A bunch of sad, mopey people setting things on fire.
What's going on? Are they setting things on fire? Are they setting each other on fire? The music's really ominous, and yet nothing really happens.
I'm guessing the whole thing is like some sort of conversation about their social standings and class issues. Okay. I feel like Hong Kong cinema is really interesting to me because it always has this like tinged political, like even when it doesn't, like all of Wong Kar-wai's films have this, it has to do with them being kind of annexed from the rest of China, and then when China gets them back, like even 2049 is loosely about like when they lose that sovereignty in a way, and it's always there, and it creates all these interesting moments where I feel like South Korea, I'm still trying to figure out from a cultural standpoint why so many of their stories have to do with moral ambiguity. And like never being able to say who is the protagonist per se, and who is the person you should be rooting for, and that everyone is kind of equally awful. And that's like the biggest constant theme I find in South Korean films is like everyone's equally awful. There's no like anti-hero per se. It's
like different shades of not so great.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's really interesting. So we have also Mother, if you want to pull Mother up, which I will say, very dark, and
I have to pick some uplifting fucking movies tomorrow.
Well, this is my day to pick movies, so it's all.
This is a down. I was like, wow, don't sign me. I mean, Parasite's incredible.
Yeah.
So it's not a total down. Like it's not a whatever that was we just saw. Like
good stuff.
The end is. It's. I mean, it does have some aspects of darkness to it, but it's very intellectually dark versus like visceral. Okay, play it.
Mother's dark. Just dark. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, come on. Oh, probably help if I unmuted.
살인 사건이 얼마만이야?
문화장 살해 혐의로 체포한다.
제일 중요한 게 네가 그날 일 기억나는 거. 우리 아들이 안 그랬거든요. 우리 아들은 아니야.
완전 끝난 사건이라고.
너는 나한테 세상 천재 너하고.
엄마가 직접 찾아 진짜 범인을.
I mean, a really happy-go-lucky movie. The basic foundation of that movie is that small town, woman ends up dead.
Yeah.
People blame this boy who is mentally handicapped. They never say. I don't know if they say exactly in the movie, but most likely like Down syndrome. The mother's convinced it wasn't him and takes it upon herself to find the real killer and get revenge. And it goes to a real dark place.
That shit looks intense also. But I will say this trailer gives me a much better idea as to like what's happening. And now you're like, oh, and I'm in on this mother's journey to like redeem her son.
I want to watch that movie.
Yeah.
I actually have this. Where is it? I'm going to email it to you, Zach. I've been meaning to watch this video. Basically, this director storyboards every single frame of the movie before he starts. So I'm emailing this to you. So there's a video that shows you what his storyboards look like versus what ended up on the film.
Oh,
and so
wow.
It's really cool. It's like a storyboard montage scene. So you could see what his storyboards looked like and then what it ended up being, and it was exactly frame for frame. So he literally draws out the movie before he even, so he knows exactly how the movie is going to be cut together before he even starts filming. And you could tell because every frame is so beautifully composed, like an artist versus like, oh, I'm just going to get a close and a wide and then we'll just cut it together later.
Yeah, so, Bong Joon-ho is kind of, so like efficient.
Yeah.
You know, like they say hardly anything goes back to the editing bay because it's so like precise on set.
Because he draws it out. So I linked you that picture and it shows his storyboards. I think there's a whole book that you can get now that you can see the whole movie. But I guess this was just one sequence.
So let's check out that video after we check out the trailer for Parasite. Because I'm curious, how many people in the chat room have not watched Parasite yet? It's up on Hulu. So if it wins, we'll watch it next week on Hulu. It's heading to Criterion in
June. It comes out, the 4K comes out June 2nd, I think, and I think the Criterion version comes out after that.
Okay, yeah.
I could be wrong.
So there's a lot of people in the chat who've not seen it. So let's watch the trailer, and then we'll watch the video about the storyboards. Are you ready for me, Adam?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry about the weird audio hiccups. I'm not sure why that's happening. It's something to do with our,
it's fine.
Whatever.
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
We'll do it live.
뭐야, 소독해? 창문 닫아.
나도 봐. 공짜로 집안에 소독도 하고.
부모님 얼굴도 뵙고 좋더라. 건강들 하시고. 일거리가 없으셔도. 네가 내 대신 얘 과외 선생님 좀 해줘라. 영어. 대학생인 척하라는 거야? 불화를 좀 치지 뭐. 너 이 좋은 실력으로 왜 미대는 맨날 떨어지냐?
아이씨, 죽을래.
저는 이게 위조나 범죄라고 생각하지 않아요. 참으로 시의적절하다. 부자들이 원래 참 잘 속아. 사모님이 뭐랄까.
풀타임으로 수업 어떻게 하시는지. Is it okay with you? 우리 다송이는 완전 예술가 재질인데.
펜치를 그린 거죠?
자화상이에요.
역시.
그동안 미술쌤도 여러 명 바꿔가면서 해봤는데요.
제가 사람 하나가 휙 하고 떠올랐는데.
아 잠깐. 제시카 외동딸 일리노이 시카고 과선배는 김치모 그는 이사촌.
부자인데 착하다니까.
진짜 니가 착한 거지. I'm deadly serious.
근데 지금 진짜로 이상한 게 뭔 것 같아.
Oh my goodness!
It's so good.
So good.
I don't think I've ever seen that
It
trailer
made me want to
before.
watch it again. I really want to watch that again.
I've seen it 3 times now, and I can't wait to watch it again because it's just so fucking good.
It's great.
It's great. I really want to watch some of the new movies that we have as options today because I've seen Parasite 3 times. But if the audience votes for Parasite, I'm not mad.
I'm okay with that.
I'm not
I
mad.
saw it once in the theater. No, I think twice in the theater. And without giving anything away, some of the stuff that happens in that movie, I genuinely was not expecting. And you're sitting there and you're like, oh, we just took a turn here. And I love it.
Yep. You're just like, wait, what kind of movie am I in now?
Holy shit, what?
I think I had a grin on my face from like when they started like diving really into like how quickly they could start manipulating their degrees and everything else. I just started grinning, and I don't think that smile left my face the rest of the movie. It was just like, this is so well done.
Yeah.
And it again just deals with so many things that I love about South Korean cinema, like those themes that show up, but I think in the most accessible way. And I thought it was really funny in an interview. he said he was surprised by how well it did, but then he was like, but I shouldn't have been surprised because there's rich and poor people all around the world, and you know, it's ultimately a movie about class systems. And
I think that's even more relevant now. Like, I feel like a lot of the backlash against like that Imagine video and all that stuff is like, don't complain to me about your quarantine from your estate in Malibu, where I'm sure your staff is there doing your hair. Don't complain, and don't act like we were all in this together. No, we're not, man. You don't have. Didn't Justin Timberlake was like, full-time parenting is terrible, and I was like, are you kidding? There are single parents, women out there, or parents with 3 or 4 kids. They're trying to manage how to feed them and also go to work or pay rent. They don't. Your sympathy does not go a long way right now. So I feel like the whole class divide is going to get even more and more amplified because there's so many people whose lives are being devastated right now. And yet, you know, they have this sort of like society of people who want attention online, you know, sharing all this false sympathy, or maybe just sympathy that doesn't ring genuine anymore.
Right. Well, I thought it was really interesting because I feel like, you know, this movie came out around the exact same time as Joker. And I feel like Joker was trying to say a lot of the same stuff. Yeah. But with a hammer instead of like a needle.
That movie was just unwatchable for me. But
me
that's
too.
Okay. That's just me.
It's not just you.
Definitely not just you.
Yeah, I think Malik and I both were looking at each other through that whole movie like, when is this going to be over? Like, you know, but I felt like Parasite did it in such an elegant way without...
A more interesting way, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. I mean, that Joker had like 5 scenes. I'm like, we did this already.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Joaquin Phoenix do this again. And yeah, you're right. You're totally right.
As a person who's in the industry, Felicia, I hope you don't mind me asking, do you foresee any systematic changes that might happen due to everything we've just experienced and what's still happening? You know, I think, I can't remember, and I wish I could, someone, I think it was another writer, posted on Twitter how if you want a better example of how there's no leadership within Hollywood for the overall industry, it's the fact that nobody's talking about how the industry will have to change to support this. And it does kind of feel like we're being reminded again how Wild West the entertainment industry is. You see all these other major entire branches of economy have leaders, and people are coming out and saying like, here's what we're gonna have to do, here's how things are gonna have to change, here's how this will work. But in media, it's kind of like, well, you're on your own. Everybody, dog eat dog. We got to figure this out on your own. You're not seeing, you know, Bob Iger might say, okay, I won't get paid, but Disney's not coming out and being like, here's a plan for the entertainment industry to move forward as a whole that we can all kind of adapt to, because this is affecting everyone in entertainment. And it shows a lot of giant holes in how things are done and how quickly the whole system just falls apart.
Yeah.
And
well, that's every system is falling apart.
Yeah.
In like 3 weeks. But I mean, I guess I have the jaded viewpoint that now, having been in live streaming for a long time, I feel like Hollywood is going to be like, oh, live streaming, that's where the next generation is. And so a bunch of things are going to launch. A lot of the stars are going to come in and do live streaming. It's going to kind of decimate a lot of people who make their living online live streaming. Because that's what Hollywood does. They take over something, they monetize it, they shut out people who are, you know, just independent people. Yeah. And then they overvalue it. I mean, I think it's kind of happening in podcasts. Like, you know, podcasts got big because a bunch of Hollywood people decided to start making it a thing, like, or business people. And so it's oversaturated. It's kind of like a big bubble. It's going to collapse because there are not enough listeners. And the same thing's going to happen in live streaming, I think. Yeah. So, you know, Hollywood's going to move into live streaming and try to take it over. And it's going to create sort of a have and have not situation. A lot of people, kind of like YouTube now, right? I uploaded a bunch of videos. I did a web series set in WoW called South Shore, World of Warcraft. And so I uploaded the videos. They're short form and they add up to 22 minutes. And, you know, people were like, this is so weird to see something like this on YouTube, because nobody's watching web video anymore like that. They watch vlogs and they watch other kinds of video, but they don't watch scripted series on YouTube. There's just so much better produced scripted series everywhere else. Like, no one can support themselves making that kind of stuff anymore, right? It's
true.
And so I'm hoping that it doesn't happen to live streaming, but I don't know. My cynical side is like, okay, Hollywood's going to take this over. What can you leave us?
Right. It's tough for us because we talk about that aspect a lot too, and how we see that happening, and we get called into meetings and people ask us a lot of questions, and we hold a lot of information back because we know that you just want to know how we're doing it and then take it. And
I love Quibi. Like, here's an example. Quibi just launched, right?
Yeah.
I was told by my agents I wasn't high profile enough to get a meeting there.
Wow.
Even though that 10-minute format, the serialized format, was something that I literally helped pioneer.
Right.
But I couldn't get a meeting. So I guess I got a little schadenfreude that they're being so badly received right now.
Yeah, and
again, it would be nice to do short form content on a budget. So I'm like, okay, maybe I can get a meeting when things open up.
We talked about Quibi last week and how it feels kind of strange that they're trying to do the celebrity angle on it, where we have stats that kind of show that doesn't work anymore. Yeah. And you know, like, you're just going to go watch HBO or Netflix or something like that if you want to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And we had a whole discussion about how we're going to see a lot of actors right now are probably being pushed by their agents to try to reconnect with social media because they're like, well, you got to stay relevant, and you're going to see an influx of celebrities trying to make...
I can't even get on Instagram. I'm like, I don't want to see another fitness video. I just cannot see someone else showing me a tour of their house or... And like, it makes me want to do less streaming. Even though this should be the point where I'm like streaming all the time, I'm just like, I can't sit here and try to get attention amongst everybody else screaming right now. I just need to be truthful to myself. And that's why I'm playing Stardew with my mods and my friends, and like, come in if you want, like, you know, it's just, I can't do it.
I mean, that was the interesting thing about Quibi. I kind of like the user interface. I think it's really interesting the way they've designed it. But the first thing I went to was a cooking show with a chef I've never seen or heard from, and there's no tentpole celebrities in that show at all.
Wow.
No, like, but they're also not marketing that show, and they're really just trying to hinge on the celebrity appeal. But that doesn't work anymore. Yeah. And
no, I did pitch them through another person's, like, some tabletop type shows.
Yeah.
And they were like, they're all brilliant, but we're not going niche. It's too niche for us. But I'm like, better to
You're
get
niche
10,000
already,
people
though.
who loves you. I know. What
Quibi's niche.
I don't even know what to tell you. It has been years of this in Hollywood. Everything I pitch is just like...
Same.
You know, and it's okay. Because this time off has just shown me, like, my ideas aren't bad. They're just not for those people. And I don't know if they're going to get made because they're not the avenues to make things that I used to have. And that's okay. But I don't want to lose faith in myself as a creator because I keep getting rejected by Hollywood with ideas that I know are good.
Yeah.
It's just, I just need to go and create for the venues I have control over, which is probably going to be books and comics and maybe a little bit of live streaming just for fun.
You just have to wait until a apathetic rich white guy takes your idea and makes it for you, and everyone says it's brilliant, and then you'll be fine.
Believe me, I've had that happen, Minnie. It's okay though.
No, we definitely feel you on that, and I feel like the big thing that a lot of people are missing, and as we see a lot of celebrities trying to adapt quickly, is they're not realizing why I think YouTube changed so much and how live streaming is blown up. Is there's like this genuine aspect to it, and they're still putting up a wall as if wish fulfillment's still the number one thing. And I don't think wish fulfillment is as big anymore because you can get that all over on Instagram and other places. And this kind of content, I feel like you want it to be real and natural, and especially now with everything we're going through, we want to feel connected, not look how cool my fucking house is.
I know, it's so awful.
Feeling disconnected right now is like completely the opposite direction of like what people are looking for. And I think that's why we've been able to sustain viewers for the last 5 weeks, is because we're doing things that like we have a joy for, and we can share that with our audience, and like being able to watch movies with them that they've never seen before is so cool. Because it's like, it's a mutual experience that we're like discovering things that some of us have seen, some of us haven't seen, and seeing the reaction of the audience of just like moments in movies like Blade Runner or something is so cool.
Speaking of this kind of like weird adaptation to media, did you all get a chance to watch the Saturday Night Live from Home episode on Saturday?
I watched a little bit, but not the whole thing.
Yeah.
I did not get to watch it. It was on my list to do, and it's on my DVR. I have not gone to it. I had to deal with Easter. I had Easter Bunny issues.
Malika and I tried watching it. I threw it on. I don't think we even got through it all the way. It was very awkward, very strange.
Isn't it like super segmented as well?
Well, yeah, and it wasn't live. You know, it was like it had to be kind of pre-recorded. You have people coming in and out of calls. It was. I commend them for trying. Like, I really appreciate somebody trying. And it just, you could tell people were like, man, we got to do something.
Right.
And I appreciate that. But it was also very hard to watch people who, you know, YouTubers are doing this stuff at home already very well.
Yeah.
It's almost like, I don't know if Lily Singh has been doing her show from her house, but I feel like if you're going to watch a late night show, watch hers. Because she is very, to me, she's so brilliant, but the venue they put her in is awkward. Her show doesn't quite work because it doesn't play to her strengths. And so I need to just try to see if she's doing her show, because I would imagine that would be a great translation. Her doing her show from her house is probably like, I would love it to be brilliant, because that's where she has that relationship. She knows how to act, like that's her venue. You know, I mean, being a stand-up comic is not her thing. That's a different skill set, and it's like not what's amazingly appealing about her creativity. So I'm gonna do that today. I'm gonna put it on my tabs.
Do you think Hollywood will come out of this with some newfound respect for self-creators and YouTubers, or no?
They'll just they'll look and they'll steal whatever works from people, and then give it to a legitimate person. Sorry, I'd hate to be jaded, but I've been through it.
No, I mean, I think that's a very realistic outlook.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I think that's such a typical thing. They will see that, oh, this YouTuber did this thing and it did incredibly well. Let's do it with a big budget and a big talent, and then it just crashes and burns. And like, why didn't it work? Because you're not that person.
Well, I think I feel like the only person who's been able to adapt really well is John Oliver. His From Home episodes are really
awesome.
good. They're really good.
Yeah.
A lot of the other late night shows are just, I feel so bad.
Yeah, they're you watch them, you're like, they're all right. But John Oliver, I feel like, is the only person who's really been able to take his format and successfully translate it from like a really nice looking studio with an audience to just at home.
Well, I think it's that acknowledging I'm very clearly at home, but also like, I'm going to do a good job for you. Not like, oh, look at me, I'm rich and in my house, and isn't this relatable?
Right.
You know,
it's like,
no.
Yeah, right.
It's not. You know, I don't want to see Ellen tweeting anymore about.
Also, just clean your background up. It doesn't take that much effort. Okay, I have a covering on it. Just put it on, man.
Yeah.
It's VCam. It's $20. It's VCam by XSplit. It's fine. It just covers anything up. Okay.
I don't
get it.
That's actually been probably the most interesting thing to see, is like how not resourceful they are when they're at home, and how just like kind of slop it is. And you're like, man, at least when you watch something like John Oliver, even though it's like a all white background with just like a table, you're like, well, at least I appreciate the fact that like it looks good when I watch it.
I feel like it was a knee-jerk reaction for everyone to be like, well, since we're having to do it from home, let's try to look relatable
as possible.
As, you know, like, look how cheap we are from home. And it's just like, you still, I guarantee you, they still have producers there at their house. I guarantee they still had cameras flown in. It was like a manufactured
Tom Hanks is wearing a lapel mic, and you're like, he doesn't own one. Come on now.
It's a manufactured relatableness, and I think that's easy to see through, and it'd rather just be like, try.
Right.
Try.
Exactly.
Like, go the extra mile. You have the fucking money.
Yeah.
Like, try.
Exactly.
I don't buy it at all.
Yeah.
But again, we are probably jaded because we're working our ass off.
We're jaded. We're totally jaded.
Oh, you got
any? What color should I be? I want to go to the drugstore and dye my hair a color.
Okay.
Like a color.
Why would you ask me? Why?
I don't know.
Why would you ask?
Should I do purple, or what do you think?
You know, don't trust anything I tell you.
Like, blue, purple.
If you don't want to trust Zach, just do a Twitter poll.
Magenta sounds good.
Yeah.
Green is going to be bad with my skin, y'all.
Whatever makes you look like you're over 30 and trying too hard.
Over 30 and trying too hard?
Yeah.
That's just my face.
Okay, well then you're fine. Just do whatever you want.
I like pink. I like the idea of pink. Okay, and then maybe just a straight. Okay, I'm gonna go to get some Manic Panic. I'll suit up and go to the drugstore.
You're gonna bring back the Manic Pixie Dream Girl look and
why not
reclaim 2010.
I'll cut my hair off too, just like try to fade it out back here.
Yeah, definitely keep us updated. We would love to not mock whatever you do at all.
Great. Okay, I'll let you know.
Yep, thank you.
Bye.
Adam, is there anything else before we say goodbye that you got to talk about really fast?
You know, I feel like we covered a lot of really good stuff. Some of the other things that I had on my list, it was talking about Quibi, actually, and now they had 1.7 million downloads in the first week. But I think, like, the reaction to Quibi itself has been kind of, like, very neutral.
If they're releasing numbers of downloads instead of watch time, I take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, right? Yeah, because, I mean, it's like all of this stuff, I'm like, that sounds really good that all these people downloaded it, but, like, how much are people actually consuming on here? And as far as I've been able to find from this article, I have not seen watch time on here. And I'm like, well, downloads are one thing. How much is actually being consumed is completely different.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we talk about that all the time when we look at numbers of like YouTube and all that sort of stuff. It's like watch time is the important number for so many of these things.
Yeah.
And if you're just saying like, oh, this many people clicked on link, great. But like, who watched?
That's not gonna. Yeah, that's not gonna.
That's
help
somebody
you.
trying to make themselves look
how
good.
many of those are free? I know how people game the system, and you know they'll just give you a free sub for a month, and it's like, yeah, it's a real one.
Yeah, exactly.
Careful,
It's
wink.
Other thing too is, you know, we talked about a lot how a lot of people are really worried about the movie theater industry and how they're going to come out of it. And AMC was rumored to potentially like be filing for bankruptcy if they can't find a way to sort of like, you know, find some additional funding and all that stuff. Cinemark is actually launching. They're saying they're launching an offering of $250 million in senior secured notes. They're really just trying to find a way to find additional money to kind of help get them through this, and they're calling that it's going to be used for general corporate purposes, which includes enhancing its liquidity at a time when cinemas have been closed indefinitely due to coronavirus. Like I know for us here in LA, we're on lockdown. It's been extended to May 15th, and I'm sure that at some point that's going to start cascading and making its way through the entire country. And you know, you talked about how you're like, oh, I think AMC theaters will be okay, and it's
blowing my mind that they're not.
It's so surprising to see like how many
companies
chains, are. And I think Cinemark is listed as the third largest exhibitor. So I don't know. I don't know who. I would assume that probably Regal would be second. So I don't know if we're going to come out of this.
Cinemark owns Regal, right?
Oh, do they? You might be right, actually. Yeah. So it's going to be just interesting to see how many of these theaters are actually going to make it out of this, or will companies step in and help them? I know a lot of them are hoping that this this stimulus will help, but to like how much
I don't know how that
extent?
helps. It doesn't even cover people's.
Yeah, like to what extent? It's like they've had to furlough all these people's salaries and stuff.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know. We're still trying to get the small business paycheck protection.
Yeah.
Loan that's forgiven. We've still not been able to get it. Every time our bank gets a new round, says, okay, we'll accept applications. We message them and they're out.
Yeah.
And that's a small bank in Seattle, you know. So we've been going to outside sources to try to get it. No luck so far. I know some people were claiming on Twitter today that they got their stimulus check from the government. And then immediately you see people being like, cool, great. What about next month's rent and the month after that?
Yeah,
and, you know, it's
true.
And I understand that that's very different for a lot of people. You know, $1,200 where my parents live, that's rent for 6 months for some people.
Yeah.
You know, but $1,200
Not in
LA,
not in New York.
No, definitely not.
That's oh god.
The place, So it's interesting. I don't think we have answers to these things, and it's crazy to be living in this time where we're kind of just sitting here and waiting.
Yeah.
To see what happens.
One more month.
Oh god.
Hey, I gotta go to another meeting. I'm so sorry.
It's all
you're
good.
great. We're shutting it down. We're shutting down right now. So thank you so much, Felicia, for joining us. Stick around.
You guys are awesome.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Do whatever you want with your hair. You'll look great.
I'm gonna tweet you. I'm thinking pink. Actually, your chat actually knows what it's talking about. You, on the other hand, have no idea.
Don't talk to me about
I'm really
this
liking
stuff.
pink, and my baby loves pink, so it's
There
gonna
you
be
go.
pink. Thanks to you guys, Hyper Chat.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna be a pink-headed person. Okay?
Great. Perfect. So if it's bad, you can blame us. All right. Thank you so much, Felicia. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching.
Bye-bye.
Stick around. Coming up next is none other than Malika. She's going to be cooking some salad. She wanted to do some healthy recipes this week.
Yeah.
Teaching you all how to make some really healthy food, because I know week 5 now, it's starting to really like, you know, we need to eat a little bit healthier, a little pick me up here, feel some.
I made some food yesterday and I was like, this needs more greens. I'm at that point now.
yeah. For me, it's just remembering to drink water. I'll drink some water and I'll be like, damn, this is good shit.
This is some good shit.
Like,
oh,
water's
damn.
some good shit. So stick around. That is coming up right now here on Hyper RPG. Don't go anywhere. And then coming after that, we've got Marvel Flux, the card game. We'll be playing that today. And then we're going to be watching Fallen Angels tonight on our watch along. So stick around, hang out with us all day today. We hope that you do. Bye. Bye.